Once again, it is the fourth episode, I believe. Now I'm getting lost because we've been doing these episodes. But I like the fact that you guys are coming in with your ideas. I like the fact that you guys are coming in with your comments. And I don't move alone. This is the Master Podcast, and I move around with the teacher, the master, Mr. Morgan Watt. How are you, say?
How are you coming?
This is the fourth episode.
It is.
And we've been moving. I like the progress. I like
the way as well people are presenting their ideas, their problems, and they want to discuss more.
But most of these problems are cash. Most people are coming in and saying my problem is money. My problem is money. But we're saying money shouldn't be the problem. Yeah. What should be the problem is darkness, emptiness, and voidness.
Problem. It should be the problem you are facing. What problem are you facing?
Money.
Like
I said, man.
Why did you create that? What you call it, comic awards
for entertainment?
We're
bored.
So boredom is the problem.
Yet there was something I could do to make people happy while it's there at work, while it's there.
So boredom was the problem you are reducing. Reducing boredom.
And maybe it started with me because I had the internet, but I had nothing to watch. I was bored.
There you are.
And then I had to start creation.
Anyway, well done with that. I'm always watching you and the way you created it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Watt.
Creative.
So we touched a lot of things in the previous 3 episodes. We looked at we were stuck in Genesis 1 and we wanted to jump out and we said stay in the problem, remain focused with the problem, up until the solution becomes clear. So I don't know whether this applies to someone who is not feeling well. Does it also apply?
Problem. Let's carry the problem.
This is where you start to think, what if I boil lemons? What if I do this? Yeah, it's in problems.
That's how all solutions came up. That's how all this.
What if we give him this and
failing, like you said? You might try and someone die with the medication.
Yeah,
you think, why don't we reduce the
dose? I always say for the first doctor maybe it was very difficult because the first doctor gave someone something and the person died. But then people said, but he lived for some few days, but he died later, and maybe it works, but let's reduce the dosage, like you say. Yeah. But we're continuing, and remember the purpose of this podcast is to make you establish yourself and move out of your problems. But while you're trying to do that, we also need to know that you don't just get out. You don't get out. You need to stay in the problem, be able to explain it, be able to define it, be able to define and describe it. So when you do that, then you start.
Comic, can I put in that one as well? So,
yes.
So there's like you said, you just don't get out.
Yes.
So there's an order
of getting out.
So Genesis, why there was chaos.
Yes.
Was formless, voidness, and darkness. Yeah.
Yes.
It was chaos for God. That's chaos.
It
so
didn't
God
look
had
good.
to rearrange
things.
So if you look at formless, void, and darkness, that was the order of operation.
Yes.
God had to reorder. Like you saying, you don't just jump in.
Yes.
So what was the reordering?
Yes.
He said, he started, if you're saying let there be light, it means he's now started with darkness. After darkness, what happens? Form went in the middle.
Yes.
After form, you can now fill in.
All right.
Yeah. So it's the order of operation, like you were saying. How do you do it? Don't just jump in. There's to be an order.
A system.
There's a system. So this is the system we are giving. Where do you start this order? Do you start by explaining? Do you start by describing? Or do you start by defining?
All right. So you are there. I always say you are there. You want to register. You want to start a company, especially here in the UK. We have Mr. Muwati. The numbers are on your screen. Just call him. Say, from the podcast, I want to register a company. And today, that's what we want to tackle much, the registering of a company. Which is not the writing of the ideas. Okay. can you take us through what's required, what's needed? Okay, I know you want to take us back to the Bible.
Not really.
Okay.
I was going to go with you saying, take us through. So, like, say, now we got our problem defined, explained. And, so now you got an idea.
Yes.
Right? And
it's written. It has been planned. It's there.
It has to be written down so that now you evidence to people that this is what I was thinking.
This is the
my idea. This is what I found out, that people are walking 20 kilometers just to fetch water.
Yes.
So now I want to have this solution. So have that written down. Then you were talking registration. Now, the reason why now we need you to register with the, maybe it's the government. And,
regularizing things.
So that it can be regulated.
Yes.
It has to be regulated and it has to be evidenced so that, you are known for what you are doing.
Okay. And always we have two versions of companies. Remember, we have my own personal company, which is the Comic Pastor Entertainment Private Limited, and we when we were talking off air, we spoke about we even spoke about it in the previous episode, I believe, where you're doing your farming and you're doing it only for your family. So, and then you decide to say, no, let me farm and then share for everybody. What type of business is that?
So this is, maybe there's a misconception of a charity. That's a charity that, the moment you start doing something for the public benefit, then, which is for the public benefit, which is it's a positive. You're not killing people. You're doing it for a positive cause.
Yes,
it becomes a charity. You're already charitable, though maybe you might not call yourself a charity. The moment you do something for the public benefit, for beyond yourself, then it becomes a charity.
When we say beyond yourself, we mean beyond you, your family,
and your needs, your individuality.
Yes.
When it becomes now, I'm doing it for a community, then that moment you do it for more than just yourself, you're now a charity.
Okay.
Charity is not in registration, by the way. Charity is indeed.
Okay.
What you do is charity, not what you register as.
Okay.
Yeah. So charity is, now I'm doing it for the public. Once you do that, don't go and register as a private limited. Go and register as a public.
Why should I register first? Is it biblical again? Is it there in Genesis?
You don't really need to register, but I think we said registration is for evidence, for regulation, because you can't just go around giving what you think is right. So it's also for regulation. It has to be regulated. But then I think the most question we should be asking is, why a charity first? Why are you saying don't register yourself as a private limited? Why should I register as a charity? So the reason why we are registering this entity as a charity, because we are doing it for the public benefit, is so that we are exempt from paying taxes.
I know.
Bills.
So this is the same thing as God creating Adam and saying, you are everyone. You carrying everyone.
He is the nation. He's carrying everyone. In Adam is everybody.
He's our father.
He's our father. So in man is everybody.
So that's charity.
Yes, that's charity. Men, they are a charity.
Okay.
So hence priority in the Bible was Adam.
Okay.
Yeah. Hence God put Adam first in the garden. Because already Adam was a nation. He was carrying everybody.
Okay.
Then came that statement, you remember? It's not good for
a man. For a charity to be alone.
Yeah. Alone meaning all in one. It's two words.
Okay.
Yeah. Alone doesn't mean alone. Yeah. Alone, but it meant all in one.
Okay.
It's not good for Adam to remain one and everyone. So let's just make him a helper. Then the opposite was true, which was Eve.
Okay.
So
that was a problem again, to have it all in one.
That's the, like I said, that's the major after darkness,
Yes.
the major problem was all in one.
And are we finding it in people's minds now? Do we have people who want to run everything? He's the chairperson of the company.
That's where we all start. We all start from there. That's why we are discussing these things. Why? So that we see how do we scale up, how do we grow, how do we move from individuality.
I would want to call it, where you think, okay, when I find water, it's for me.
Yes.
Okay, you have given it to people. You have moved.
Yeah. And from yourself to other people.
Yes.
Yes.
And now, because some people will come to Kendima, then you can start selling.
That's how you start now. The money aspect comes into.
Discover that there is money here in this water. For my neighbors and surrounding people, I'll do charity.
If not, there's money. There's thirsty. People are thirsty. So if they're thirsty, naturally they're going to come to you and buy. Naturally, they're just going to go, I'm thirsty. I need water. There's need of water. There's need of a drink. So Jesus said, I'll give you that one.
Which one? Also, this is the water that the woman went to tell people.
The water the woman went within the community.
And say, come.
And say, who told me how to produce water that quenches, that, you don't
last forever.
Because remember, they were found going to the well every day. Going to the well, fetching with buckets.
Okay.
Small buckets. And, it was too laborsome.
Yes.
So Jesus said, no, just connect
from me.
Yeah, from me. Connect the water to the community. Then you don't need to come to the well.
Okay.
So the woman didn't say, come and see the well. No, come and see the man who told me everything I ever done. What have you done? I brought water to the community. That's what the woman had done.
Beautiful. So, and we're moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. And always remember to love, subscribe, and like our show. It is the Master Podcast. Remember to share as well with your friends and say, it's a business idea from a biblical perspective. We want to look into sustainability. You have come up with an idea. You want to run it. You want it to remain flowing. The challenge is everything we start. We can start this podcast and we drop it at it's episode 3. Episode 4, everyone is tired. We're thinking, it's not working. Yet we're speaking to thousands of people. How do we sustain it?
So the reason why things die that way, it's because we are always thinking you doing this thing, and you've never written it somewhere so that someone can learn it. So learn to clone yourself.
Okay.
Learn to have
duplicate
12 disciples. Learn to
we're back again.
Yeah, disciple means discipline. So learn to bring in other 12 people like you, so that even after your death, they continue to
preach the same.
So that one is a good one. But it's always coming from, call me pastor, whatever you do, if you had written it somewhere, it would be easy for me to read the script and do what you're doing.
Yes.
But because it's nowhere to be found, it's not evidenced, it's going to be difficult for us to replicate.
Okay, so this is why people redo the Shakespeare's 12th Night, because he wrote it. There's a script about it. You can do it in any theater today. You can go.
So sustainability you're talking about, number one.
This is why musicians are told to write their songs, because you can't tell us that it's my song and yet you have not written it down.
You don't own it.
And when it gets remixed, maybe how many people have done Celine Dion's song? How many people have done Bob Marley's song?
So let's go back, like you were saying, sustainability.
Yes.
Write it down. Number 2, train other people to be you. So that you replicate after one kind. So going back to the Bible, mixing with the business.
Yes.
That's why you find with God, it was so simple. He did a seed. Then in the seed, he put a tree.
Yes.
But the tree is not outside the seed, it's in the seed. Then inside the seed, there's a tree. That tree grows fruits. Hey, by the time you finish eating a fruit, do you know what happens?
You will remain with the seed.
Hey, and what's in that seed?
A tree.
Another tree.
So you're eating a tree. You
got an orchard.
in your hands.
Yeah. So you're talking about sustainability. So what's sustainability? Yeah. How do we continue? That's continuity.
And people are not willing to continue.
They're not willing, my pastor.
Yes.
No.
They
don't know how to continue. That's why we are here.
It's okay. So we're going back again.
Yeah.
People, when we fail, when we stuck in emptiness.
Yeah.
That's where most people are dying, Mr. Mwat. A business idea that was about to come because of a problem dies because I'm not willing to try,
fail,
and try
not
again.
even to try. You're not willing to fail because the first thing you think is failure. What if I fail? What will people say? Yet look at you now. I want you to be honest. When you started your comic awards, how many viewers did you have?
Not so many.
But how many do you have now?
100,000, 200,000.
So that's a good example of continuity of, how do you start doing, fail. People, they don't know. You have sleepless nights failing. Yesterday you failed practicing. So there you are. But you were talking about continuity. How do we continue? So I'm going now with you as well. So let's write it down. That's
number one.
Yeah, this idea of
which Adam, our father, failed.
Why did we start the comic awards? What was happening? What were you thinking? What was your problem?
And our father failed. Our father, Adam failed to write things.
So you write it down. Why? So that the next person who's going to pick up this in writing,
the concept,
they can now start understanding it from a problem point of view.
Okay.
Why did he start this? What's the purpose? Oh, he saw people getting bored and he said,
let me just entertain
That's
them.
why I was saying, keep in the problem. Write it down, describe it, explain it. The moment you start everything from a problem point of view, it becomes easily to sustain or to continue. But the reason why the next person who's going to try comic awards without knowing the problem you were solving, they won't last even a day. They won't even a week. They won't last. To them, it becomes boring.
Because they didn't
understand your
vision, your plan,
your problems you were solving. Because with you, it's when you start solving a problem, that's where the power is. When you just start solving a problem, there's that continuity. You still want to continue because you are seeing the problem being reduced. I think with you can measure with when people write to you the comments. You can read in the comments.
Yes, and say
I'm doing something right.
People are entertained. People are happy.
Entertaining people. So I'm reducing a problem.
It is the fourth episode of the Master Podcast, and give us your feedback. Talk to us. Today we're talking about number one, company registration, and I know Mr. Mwat touched a bit about starting a charity. We want to get into even understanding what's the benefit of starting. We heard that number one, there's so many ways of being exempted from so many things because you're doing it for the public benefit. But we want to get also to understand where do you come up with an idea of saying this one is better as a charity than a private limited? How do we say?
Yeah. So maybe the question should be, now when should my private limited appear?
Oh, it's not the charity.
Yeah.
The charity is...
No. We finished now. We said we now got a charity.
Yes.
Yeah, we now got a charity.
No, how do I?
So now I think we are now in the... You were talking about registration?
What about
registration?
What about private limited? What is it?
Yeah, that's the question now. So when does my privacy come? Where do I now benefit?
Okay. As you do solve other people's problems, you must also benefit.
You are part of the public, remember.
Oh, okay, so you are not exempted from
yours
being...
is also being solved. But then let's talk it from the biblical point of view.
Yes.
And in the business sense.
Yes.
Why did we say Adam should be put, why should we start with men? There's a controversy with, why should we start with, because many, like you said, they're already pregnant, they got the nation with them, so they are public.
Okay, so Adam was born pregnant, was created pregnant.
Men were created pregnant. We are already public. so because we are public, we are walking, carrying the public.
Yes.
So we are already doing for the public benefit. Now, where does my private come?
Yes.
Why do I need my private? How does Eve,
privacy? Yes.
privacy?
Yes. When do we
Eve
introduce
coming
Eve?
from
Yes.
now? Yeah. So your private is, remember, when Eve is coming into play, the idea of Eve is to receive the seed, and then she would reproduce after their own kind.
Okay.
That's the idea of Eve.
So she receives the seed,
Which Adam already carries.
which is
Then I think it's in Eve they decide, should we have a boy or a girl, right?
Oh yeah, that's when the X chromosomes.
Remember the formless, darkness. So where does the form?
Yes.
So the woman comes, she's empty because the pregnant, she's got an empty stomach.
Yes.
So
empty.
Adam puts a formless seed
Yes.
in the woman.
Yes.
The woman starts forming.
Okay.
Then she puts
They
the
form
head, the mouth, then
the
it's either a
bones.
baby or a girl or a baby boy. So the same in a company.
Yes.
The same. Do the same. Whatever your story was about loneliness or whatever your problem was
about darkness.
about darkness,
Yes.
there is always an element of now that we got this thing. Now, how do we solve it? In that, there's what we call a budget.
All right.
The money side now, how to monetize. So
I think now people are getting excited. We're starting to talk about money now.
When is money coming?
Yes, but money comes only when you have a problem. When you stay in the...
So you've heard them saying more money, more problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the opposite is true.
Okay.
So if you want more money, more money, more problems.
Yes.
So if you want more money,
yes, you need
so the
more
opposite is true.
Okay.
So more problems,
more money.
more money. So if you want more money,
there should be more problems.
So what we are saying here is get problems. Then the problem is Adam. Is all in one.
Okay.
So now let's reduce Adam.
The labor of Adam.
So Eve can increase the humankind.
Okay.
So
while Adam is carrying everyone, you drop them in Eve.
Yeah.
Then Eve forms, creates, puts out. Adam gives
profit in business. That's profit in business. Now Eve is coming to give labor to more children, more Adams, more Eves. That's profit in business. So emphasis here is maybe the confusion or where we're trying to make this thing work is why are we emphasizing on charities? Why are people so much focused on their private limiteds? Naturally,
the
fall is natural. Like we said, we always start from darkness. So fall, we all fall, no matter how much. So Genesis 3, all of us are going to fail.
Whether we like it or not.
You're just going to be in ignorance. So that's ignorance. Opening your private without your...
All right.
So all of us. So the idea is, that's why you see now, they will bring in now redemption. Jesus is going to come and redeem you.
Yes.
That's all. That's the same things. In business also, we redeem you. We bring Jesus. We bring knowledge. It's about knowledge. My people perish because of lack of knowledge.
All right.
So it's about knowledge. So this knowledge we are bringing is now start with your charity. We know you started with your Eve, your private limited.
But it's time to register a charity.
Look, how much are you being punished? How much tax are you paying?
Salaries.
Bills. What do you call this? For the beans and everything. There's this bill that it can be more than your rent you are paying. Yeah. So there's council tax. Then there's there's a bill again. There's this bill
that just comes because you're a private.
The lighting, the policing.
Yes.
You can be exempt from all those things
if you run it.
If you run it with the proper order. So the order was starting with Eve. The order was starting with Adam. Then out of Adam comes out Eve, your private limited. So don't register your private limited
before.
We wonder why.
And I know someone is watching, and you want to register your private. You want to
register your charity. Private limited.
He's the man to talk to. Please talk to Morgan. The numbers are on your screen. pressure him. Say, I want to register, especially if you're here in the United Kingdom. Exactly. Talk to him. Say, I saw your video. I saw somewhere you were talking about registering companies. I want to register my own company, and he is the guy to talk to. I would advertise your company when it's registered, but I wouldn't. You know me. I would do.
You'll be punished.
Yes.
so coming pastor, while you are there,
yes.
I think it's something now we make our way. Let's raise awareness about this. So in UK, I like the way you are putting it. In UK, the good thing about UK, they have understood the system,
yes,
from the biblical side of things. So the reason why they've put what's called Companies House, and there's one called Charity Commission.
Yes.
If you ask most people, they don't know about the Charity Commission.
We all know Companies House. Yeah, I even know.
Charity Commission.
Yeah.
You know about it?
Not really.
But Companies House?
Yeah.
What happens with Companies House?
You can list that's all the listed companies go.
You see? So that's the 4. We all like going to the Companies House. We register. It's easy. That's why people fall for it.
Yes.
But then that's the fall. That's what we call the fall in business.
All right.
You're falling. The right way to do it, which is, I think, everyone. If you listen careful to these successful people,
yes,
they're starting to tell it now, but they don't retell you. So at the same time, register your charity and your private limited at the same time. To me, it's not at the same time.
Yes,
because your private limited is the labor, is the services you offer.
Yes,
so you don't really need to register it as such. First, register your charity with the Charity Commission. That's the regulator. The regulator is all companies.
All right.
Once you registered with the Charity Commission, naturally, your services become apparent.
Okay.
So now you think, okay, I'm dealing with loneliness here. So if I'm dealing with loneliness, I will need to have a service, maybe to find somewhere where people come together. That service, that's your Eve. That's your private limited. That's the one now you register with the Companies House. How do they work together now?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to manage conflict of interest. Now, the charity gets free money. The charity always gets free
from
money.
Who?
From the public. It's called public funding.
Okay.
So it's your money because it's public. That's why it's called public funding. It's from the government. Big lottery fund,
yes,
all these people, is public. It's your money. You are part of the public. We are. That's why they coin it public for public funds. Once the public funds are there, they need to be used.
But in different aspects.
Not
entertainment.
Yeah.
In
different services. Let's put it different services.
Yes.
Those different services.
Yes.
That becomes your private limited. That's when you start registering your private now. Why? You are saying, we've got money here for free. We've got funding here. We've got, say, 7 million here. We want to provide a recording session. Now, recording session comes from that service comes from your private. Register that now as a private. Why? You are going to offer that service to the charity. The charity will give you that free money they got. So that's how you turn that non-profit into profit.
There is money somewhere, but it all takes understanding. It all takes you and the problem that you're facing right now. And we've spoken about problems. We've spoken about darkness. We've spoken about everything we've spoken about. Yes. So don't say, you don't understand the problems I'm facing. We understand that you're in a problem. We understand that you've tried, you've failed. It is normal.
You must.
Listen to the teacher say you must fail
in your attempt. Mark Zuckerberg says every idea does not. No idea. He said ideas come not fully formed.
Okay.
Yeah. So ideas they are
there.
There's nothing. There seems to be nothing. But as you continue doing it, they start forming. So please. Fail. In your failure.
Yeah. That's where you start to see. Yeah. So as we round up, Mr. Mwati, we're covering Genesis 1.
Yes.
We want to get into Genesis 2. We've looked at all of these key elements. And as we get into Genesis 2, what are we expecting?
Right. In Genesis 2, let's expect the importance of writing, because that's what it's all about. And then let's expect what we've covered a little bit today, which is the priority of a charity, and how now your private comes after your charity. So that's the importance of Genesis. Genesis 2 is just, remember, Genesis 2, God rests. It starts. If you read it, God rested in his work of creation.
Okay.
In his work of creation. God did not rest in action. So there's no Sabbath. Sabbath day. There's no Sabbath. Sabbath.
Let's not get.
So God rested in his work of thinking, of creation.
Because now he had the template. He had everything planned.
And also he's created now Adam to continue the company. So let's expect that. Let's expect how we now get into putting systems in our organizations so that we have rest as well. You need to rest. Comic Pastor, don't continue doing this.
The comic awards. I must do it with AI.
Think.
But
think of you after you. How are you gonna? Why is McDonald's running without him?
So let's franchise it. Let's franchise
it. That's
franchise the comic awards. One does it in America. One does it in. We make money.
With you think of X Factor. How X Factor is in now Nigeria. How X Factor is. So your idea,
should
write it down. Then now sell it to other people.
It has been another episode of the Master Podcast, the Comic Pastor, Mr. Moati. We say stay looking out for episode 5, and remember to subscribe and like this channel and share with your friends. Till we meet again on the next episode.
Thank you.